Welcome everyone to Overtime. It is late at night. The current time by us is 7:12. We're just wrapping up our days and we're here to schmooze with you. And today we have Henry Danzinger, aka Hershy, and he's here with us to tell us about real estate. Welcome, Hershy.
Nice to meet you, Mendy, again. And yeah, fun and exciting place to be, Miami, Florida.
Oh yeah,
South Florida, where the market is just growing and everyone wants to be in Miami. Or Lauderdale, as we call it, South Florida, anything south of West Palm Beach. And yeah, market isn't slowing.
sure then.
People are still moving every day, buying.
Yeah,
And if it's not us, someone else is buying.
that's right. The interesting thing is the Rebbe said about the state of Florida. That the state of Florida is the Yerushalayim of Chutz La'aretz. And we see that. He said that 4 years ago that it will be, but now we actually see it that it is.
Interesting enough that it had to come with a pandemic.
Right,
For
exactly.
everyone to come in.
That's right.
We had this discussion last time.
Yeah, it was a slow growth over the past 40 years, but after the pandemic,
It just
it was on steroids. Yeah,
it's on steroids.
yeah,
I mean, like we spoke last time. I mean, people discussing the prices in South Florida. I tell them that, if you look at the market of back from 2008 all the way till now, in 2008, 2009, there were a lot of homes that were sold in short sales and everything. And the prices dropped very low. But then from 2008 going forward, all the way to 2020, the prices in South Florida, you were able to buy very inexpensive homes.
larger homes for
Larger homes for a
yeah.
very low price,
Yeah.
but it wasn't justified. I mean, if you go anywhere in the world to live on the beach,
Yeah,
it's going to cost you about $4,000 rent.
at least.
And in South Florida, you were able to get these apartments. To buy them was about $350,000,
Yeah,
$400,000. It was a joke.
yeah.
That
I
wasn't.
bought my house 2 years ago for $444,000.
And how big is your house?
3,000 square foot
Oh,
with a pool.
with a pool.
Yeah,
I mean, nowadays you're going to look for a house like this, you almost $1 million
yeah,
homes.
absolutely.
And it's weird that everyone is discussing these prices, how, oh, it's so expensive. And I'm like, go to Israel, Tel Aviv, Ashdod, all these neighborhoods that are on the beaches.
New York, California.
I'm saying, but these
Yeah.
are houses on the beach.
Yeah.
They're $1 million houses.
Yeah.
Why isn't Miami here? So what happened is that in 2008, when everything crashed, and South Florida took such a big hit, and then I don't know if you remember, there was a Zika virus
Yeah.
before we had the pandemic. For those that don't know, there was a Zika virus in South
Florida.
Florida.
Micro pandemic.
Yep. And the houses didn't move anywhere because no one wanted to come to live in Miami.
Right.
All of a sudden, you have the pandemic, and the only state that's open is Florida. Now, where do most people know? They know, hey, let me go to South Florida.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know about this neighborhood, actually. A lot of Frum families, especially the 50, 60 and plus, they all went to Century Village in West Palm Beach. What I heard lately, it's over 500
Wow.
people bought there. There's no supermarkets.
Yeah.
I mean, they do have a shul, they do have a mikveh that is being built, it just finished. So yes, over 500 families that moved over there. And during the pandemic, that even blew up even more. And the way I look at it is, Baruch Hashem, Am Yisrael is tripling.
Yeah.
So when people tell me, oh, Williamsburg is expensive, Williamsburg is people of Williamsburg, Borough Park, Flatbush, Crown Heights,
Yeah.
as you guys call it, the Shkuna. I mean, how many people live there? But how many people have moved out?
Yeah, myself
Almost the
included.
same amount that
Right.
actually live in Crown Heights back 20 years ago is the amount that actually moved out of Crown Heights.
Right.
And they're moving all over. Same thing as with Muncie, Lakewood. You have all these neighborhoods are just expanding.
Yeah.
We're Baruch Hashem growing, as we say, Ken Yearbook.
Yeah.
So when people discuss prices, I always tell them, put it in perspective that after COVID, prices went up because it's not just the front community coming to South Florida, it is also
Everybody from any persecuted state or country.
Or country, exactly.
Yeah, people
I
from
mean, look at the people
Venezuela,
of Venezuela and
Colombia.
all this. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
moving down to Florida. So price,
Yeah.
you have to look at your budget, and if the budget doesn't fit, hey, I always say upgrade your job,
Yeah,
get a better business.
that's right. Instead of saying I can't afford it, you think, how can I increase my income?
Oh, the other part is, I mean, Chevra, we don't have the Frum economy as we have in New York. Come down, open up.
Yeah,
There's place.
so much opportunity.
There's so much
So much.
opportunity
Yeah.
down here in South Florida. I've been here for 6 years. Anything and everything can expand, especially as more families are
Yeah.
moving down. I mean, you go from Coral Gables,
Yeah,
that's where, or we can say Kendall, that's even further southwest,
Yeah.
all the way up to
Yeah.
West Palm Beach. There are thousands
Yeah.
of Jewish families. Now we're going into even more broad, not from families, but they're Jewish and they buy kosher, from clothing,
Yeah.
everything.
Also, like wherever you're gonna move to in South Florida, you're gonna be within driving distance of the school, of the yeshivas and of the grocery stores.
I would say that is a bigger problem. I
Right.
don't know, finding a house or finding a school. They
Right.
will accept you because they don't have place where
Yeah.
to place all the kids. I mean,
it's
that's a bigger problem.
Yeah.
I mean, of course,
But
Chabad.
there are new schools that are opening up
every day.
constantly.
It's
New sisters,
crazy.
new yeshivas, new girls' schools,
Yeah.
new elementary schools, new daycares. They're
So-
growing with the demand. But the real estate the way that the communities here in South Florida are a little bit different than you would have in New York. In New York, you have like major hubs with, 5,000 families here, 10,000 families there. You have some of those in like North Miami Beach or
Miami Beach,
Miami Beach.
Surfside.
Yeah, but you also have a lot of micro communities, like people, like community I live is 40 families. When I moved there 2 years ago, there was 20 families, and 2 years before that, there was one.
Yeah.
And one guy moved in.
There's always the Nachshon.
The Nachshon
jumps
another,
in.
Yosef Abramov, he was on Nachshon and another. The
Yeah.
second one was the Shliach. Yeah.
But
And now we have an Eruv, we have we have obviously Banim and Shefer Pur and a whole, the infrastructure came along with the people.
But this is what there were people that were going to other parts of Florida. What people need to know, Florida is a huge state.
It is.
Going all the way from Jacksonville, Tallahassee,
Yeah.
down to Homestead, Miami. Or if you want to take Key West into it. I mean, I know not too many people are going to go to Key West. But what people need to know is there is places that you could go and you're still close to shul.
Yeah.
You're still close to the schools, kosher supermarkets, kosher stores,
Yeah.
everything. And it's growing. Restaurants, I mean.
And if you were smart, and you want to get the best value for your money, you would gather like a group of chevra and say 10 guys, let's choose this neighborhood, which is close
to everything.
And it still has not been invaded by Yidden yet.
Look at Miami.
Yeah.
Did you see Miami? Like the first 20 families bought there for pretty decent price.
Yeah.
Now the houses are going for $1 million, but
within a couple of years, the people that bought in my community for like 350,000, the houses are worth $700,000 right now. I got a 444 right before it spiked, and my house is worth $700,000.
As a mortgage broker, you would tell them to refi and take that money and invest it into a business. Huh?
I always invest in myself. you know, and I'm planning on doing a home equity line of credit with that extra value, and start to invest in real estate here in
Yeah.
South Florida. You know, it's a beautiful
What I'm
market.
saying is if someone wants to come down, open up a
Yeah.
store, or, and there is
There's
so
so much
much.
need and so much growth that like we still haven't caught up with the growth of the community.
I mean, this is
Yeah.
like a community on steroids,
It is.
South Florida.
People are flooding in here.
Yeah, I mean, everyone wants to
Yeah.
go where everyone lives, and I'm like, hey, can you bring another few families?
Yeah.
Let's go to a new neighborhood where houses are. There are neighborhoods that houses are in the low fives or below five, I would say, and you
And
can
the
buy
same
with
house-
10, 15
Yeah.
houses. About a year later, you're refining on that house on
Yeah.
a 700,000 house.
Absolutely, because the Jews pay, some Jews pay a premium for the location. You know, if it's close to a shul or this and that, but you can bypass that premium if you think ahead and say, look, we're gonna make this community, you know, takes one person, really.
And there are many, many, many communities. I mean, I can't even sit here and name all the new communities because there's that many. Inverarity, Miami Lakes, Miami Gardens.
These all started with just a few families.
Exactly. And it could be
Yeah.
done again
Yeah.
because
There's a lot of areas that are not, that are still
haven't
raw.
tapped into
Yeah,
it.
they're still raw.
Of course.
Yeah.
I believe that it could be done. I mean, I'll give you guys an example. We're talking about North Miami Beach. Everyone lives north of 163rd.
Yeah.
That's where the A-Roof is.
Yeah.
That's where, I mean, the store's actually on the south side of it.
Right.
But no one wants to go live on the south side of it, where, let's take an example. In North Miami Beach, the average house is close to $1 million, and it's about 7,000 square feet a lot.
Yeah.
But if you go south of
The house
163rd,
size, how big is the house size?
it's the same size.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you go south of 163rd,
Yeah.
it's the same lot size, just the prices are closer to the 500.
Right.
Why not get 15, 20 families, move in there?
Yeah.
You are walking distance to North Miami Beach. I do know some people actually are going, it's called west of 6th Avenue or east of the canal.
Yeah.
If you know the neighborhood, if you're familiar with the neighborhood, you want to I'll bring up the map so we can see it on Zillow
Yeah,
actually,
sure, let's
how
have a
this
look.
works.
This is fun. We'll do a little share screen. This one? Yeah.
I don't know. There we go. Can do it again.
Now we share the screen. I'm going to open up the Zillow.
There we go. So if you look over here, very simple. Let's go up over here. This is the canal right over here. This is the I-95. 6th Avenue is right over here. And this is basically the Frum neighborhood in North Miami Beach. You look at the houses over here, 1.2, 750, 900,000, $670,000. It's probably need a lot of construction in those houses. But 1.45, this is the Frum neighborhood. What happens if we just go right over here? This is south of 167th, 163rd. Over here it's called 163rd. On this side it's called 167. Guys, look over here, 390, 385, 400,000.
It's the same size house that you get in
these are the same houses that you get in North Miami Beach.
Yeah.
And if you do a little bit of renovations, okay, you're still not at $1 million.
Right.
So I think that this should become, and now people ask me, okay, Hershy, what about the IRF? What about the safety of the neighborhood? North Miami Beach wasn't built, it didn't become
No.
safe overnight.
Everyone carried an NMB and there was the break-ins, there was other things that was,
Exactly,
you know,
but again,
it took a few years for it to be,
New Yorkers know how
Yeah.
to create a summer.
that's
Maybe
right.
you guys will create a summer over here as well.
But it's very safe here in
But these are facts of numbers that exist. I mean, if you look at Zillow, this is
it's
happening.
here
It's
now.
here now.
Yeah.
If you come down, 15 families just go over
Yeah.
that one street. And eventually, I mean, I believe that we built the A-roof over
Where
Bedford
comes-
Avenue in
Yeah.
Brooklyn.
Yeah,
And that's kind of the question of Rosh Hashanah and everything. If you go south of it, I believe the rabbis will figure out how to
we
create
did
the
it in
A-roof.
our community. There was it's actually the area from Shulchan Harav, from the Alter Rebbe. We have that area because we have the canal, we have the gated community, but we extended it because people started buying outside of our development. So we expanded the areas to go all the way to the Hard Rock Stadium.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
we put up the lines across the canal and we made that happen. So like
It's possible.
when we, yeah, if 10 guys move in, we'll make an area happen to you. That's a guarantee.
Definitely.
Yeah, that shouldn't hold you back, and neither should, you know, thinking about like, oh, I want to be around, you know, surrounded by Jews, and I want to have the New York experience here in South Florida. Here we're pioneers.
No, South
You know?
Florida and New York are, I know during the winter, everyone expects us to be the New York. I grew up in New York. I know New York.
I was
Been
telling
there,
you,
been there for many years,
yeah.
over
I
35
was living in
years.
a tiny 2-bedroom apartment, and now I can fit that entire apartment in my garage.
Yeah, wow. I actually went to a friend's house in Miami. He used to live in a apartment, one of the condos.
Right.
And I found that he bought a house. I went to say hello,
Yeah.
congratulate him. And I just walked in. His entrance is as big
As his apartment.
as his old apartment.
Yeah.
And I looked at him. I said, "Just the harchavas adas that you could have
That's
in
the
this type of." It's the weather is. I mean, you all know. I don't need to sell you on the
I
weather.
want to talk a bit about what you mentioned about the Chavsadas because it changes. You change as a person when you buy your home. You become a mensch. You become responsible for your family. Shalom bayis is improved dramatically. There's so much less stress, what we're doing is just building a keli to allow Hashem's brachas to come in. And the only thing you have to do is just show up and not get in the way. Yeah, it's really the way it's very simple. And when you own your home, you have that harchavas hadas, you have that ownership of your own destiny. Saying, I'm gonna invest in my family and I'm gonna build something, I'm gonna stop paying someone else's mortgage and pay my own.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
part of life.
Yeah.
But it is possible. I mean, everyone is looking to buy to build new neighborhoods.
Yeah.
In New York,
Yeah.
Chicago.
Yeah.
That's expanding.
Yeah.
Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah.
All over. People are always going from everywhere. Los Angeles. Hershey, I'm looking for this. I want to be in the chunk. I'm like, hey, chunk, you go hang out Thursday night for a chunk drink. But if you want to live and you don't have that type of money to buy the $1 million houses, there are communities where you could call, and I mean, as a realtor, yes, I'm prejudiced, but I will be able to show you where it's possible to be done. And here, Mendy with the mortgages,
we'll make sure you get close.
yeah,
You know, without a doubt. If you come there and you come to me and say, Mendy, I want to get a mortgage, you know, you will get a mortgage by hook or by crook, and by me, it's me by hook. I'm gonna get you there.
Yep.
You know, just the main thing is just leave your fears out the door, leave your feelings out the door, and just trust the one above, and you're in great hands, and we'll get it done.
especially if you come with, and the whole point is, come like 2, 3, come look at it, come see the neighborhood.
Let's come see it.
And someone told me, oh, it's not the safest neighborhood. North Miami Beach is safe.
Now,
Miami Beach,
yeah.
safe.
in general, I felt a lot more safer in Florida than I did in New York, that's for sure. That's
I
for
mean,
sure.
once you get
Because the
used to the
people,
mentality of the people
even
that
like
live,
the Goyim that live here, they have a very strong respect for Yidden, for Yiddishkeit. I didn't feel any anti-Semitism here. In New York, I would feel it all the time, glaring in my face. I never felt it here. And in fact, Goyim come up to me and they ask me about like why I wear my yarmulke and
yeah,
what's the significance.
they're on vacation,
Yeah.
they live in
No,
Florida.
even the locals. Yeah,
Yeah, the local is, everyone is
friendly.
more,
Yeah.
even though yes, the traffic has picked up a little
Yeah.
bit more because of so many people are
Thank
moving
you very
in.
much, guys.
Hey.
But
There is place for growth
yeah,
with new companies,
yeah,
construction.
boom.
I mean, I always tell my friends from New York, they're like, hey, can I come down and open up a plumbing, a electrician,
Yeah.
a GC? And I'm like, dude, you can bring down 10 companies and there's still place
Plenty of work.
for many more.
Yeah, look, our company A Star is headquartered in Monroe.
Exactly.
And we now this past 2 years, opened a branch in Florida, and we're one of the best performing branches there.
So funny enough, I went
And
to Yeshiva in
Houston,
Monroe.
oh, very nice.
So I know Monroe.
Okay.
Back then, this is a couple of 20 years plus.
Yeah.
I knew that it was section 1, section 2, and section 3. That was Monroe. It was a little town, a little village.
Yeah.
By now, my friends tell me, oh, I'm making a simcha, I moved the house. I bought a house someplace. And I'm like, where? They're like, I don't even know the names. Almost by Woodbury Common.
Wow.
I'm like, that's miles away from Monroe. Oh, we have a new neighborhood over there. We are growing.
Yeah.
As if the Jewish Frum community is growing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Crazy. So there is ways where to grow and where to, hey, I hope one day someone moves down and opens up a Swedish cheder. Why not?
That'd be very nice.
There is someone that actually started in North Miami Beach, but they only have the first grade, second grade. They're starting
That's how it
to
starts.
But again, that's how it started. Exactly. There's an action.
Yeah. You're the action.
Yep.
Yeah, we got you back.
What else?
That's the bottom line. The bottom line is
there is places.
Well, yeah,
there is places.
There's so many. We just showed you one.
Yeah, I mean, North Miami Beach is just one idea. If people go south of that, but then you have other neighborhoods where there's already a beautiful Chabad presence over there. Chabad's Yingalites, from Yingalites that want to live a from life.
Yeah.
And they don't want to live actually maybe on the beach.
Right.
They want to have that from environment. They move out. There's Inverary. There's
but look,
Boca.
Look in the community that I live in. It's called Coconut Cay, and it started off just Chabadskis.
But now people are moving.
Now there's Sephardi families. There's Litvish ever moving in, and we're expanding and loving the variety, loving loving what we can learn from each and every individual Yid, and it's a beautiful thing to see.
That's the beauty of Miami. I was actually last night in Surfside, and I met over there a couple of my friends from New York. They looked at me and they go, you know what? This is how it's going to be when Mashiach comes. It's going to be the Hasidim, the Lubavitch, the Sephardi, not religious, but they're from it when they come to eat. They just keep kosher. That's how it's going to be.
It is.
We're getting closer to Mashiach.
That's the whole point. That's the whole.
We're getting ready. How we're going to live in that as well.
Yeah, that's part of that's part of that. Yeah, it's part of what the Rebbe said. It's Yerushalayim of Chutzlaretz, because it really is. We experiencing Mashiach like those times here in the free state of Florida. Yeah, we are. And the achdus that we have with Yidden here is like something you don't have anywhere else. Yeah. Like in New York, you have communities
living separated one from the other.
Some in one, Lubavitch in the other, Litvish in the other. Over here, it's one big happy family.
Exactly.
And everyone loves, respects, and learns from each other.
Exactly. And that's how we grow, and that's how we bring Mashiach.
Yeah, absolutely. And this here's what you experience like a personal growth. Like where you break out of your boundaries saying, I can't, how can I, you just go in there and decide, I'm doing it, I'm leaving up to you.
There's no
And
reason to live this depressed.
no-
People, I mean,
there's
that
no
I
reason.
lived in New York.
I can't believe I lived there for 10 years.
Wow, lucky, 35 years.
Wow. Okay, I got a break, I guess.
Where were you before that?
I was in Argentina for 2 years.
No, you were born
I was born in Australia.
Australia.
Yeah.
I mean, when you go back to Australia now, how did that community expand?
Oh my gosh. It was, yeah. Like my father was seventh generation Yerushalmi. And he built that chain to go on surface to Australia. To be Yiddish tribe to people in Australia. And at that time, the well then he built a school from 20, 30 kids to 400 kids. And when the Iron Curtain fell, like there were the Yidden that had no kids that had no idea what Yiddishkeit was at all, and he brought them in. Half my class was Russian, and we brought them in, and we had and brought Yiddishkeit, and we had like an amazing influence.
And
People,
that's just Australia.
yeah, it's just Australia. Yeah.
Think of the Frum.
Yeah.
I mean, Eretz Yisrael. I lived
Yeah.
in Eretz Yisrael actually for a couple of years. All these new neighborhoods that they
Yeah.
grew. It just came here.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. So, hey, if you feel like Florida is your place, you want to just relax a little bit in life, come home to your wife, family,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, menuchas hanefesh, hakaras hadas.
helps it out. It helps a lot. I mean, I
Yeah.
see people that move down. In the beginning, they still had the New York
Mentality.
mentality.
Yeah.
I mean, me myself, I was always excited.
Yeah.
So,
Well, there's some positive things from New York. The excitement and the drive. You can always bring that here. It's welcome here.
oh, definitely.
But here, there's no judgments. There's no keeping up with the Joneses. Everyone.
As we say in
you can be
Florida,
real,
we tried to learn a little bit of Spanish.
yeah. Right. Habla muy
Get-
bien español.
Just get into the
Yeah.
zone of tranquilo.
Tranquilo.
Just relax a little bit. Life isn't that.
Tequila.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alachayim.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly. I mean, everyone knows the benefits of living in Florida.
Yeah.
And you know what? This is the best part when people tell me, actually, it gets so hot in Miami. I'm like, I was in New York. It's as humid.
Yeah.
Here. So it gets humid for 2 months. Crazy.
Yeah.
No problem.
Don't complain
Now, for
about
those
it.
that can't live.
Don't complain about that while you're in the pool.
Yeah. Exactly. So, listen, in New York, you have the benefits, and
In New York,
Baruch Hashem,
I was experiencing 5 months of winter.
Yeah.
I'll take 2 months of humidity over 5 months of winter any day.
Yep.
Hands down.
Who would have a pool?
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
Hey, just a secret: the pool prices are coming down
Oh, that's nice.
to build a new one.
That's nice.
I know it went up everything with
Went up,
prices,
yeah.
but now Baruch Hashem, they're getting a little bit better.
Good. So then
So-
look forward to the jacuzzi.
Yeah,
That's
there you go. There is time. There's a place for everything
Yeah.
over here. And
So the time is now.
And look at it now. What people don't think of, Shabbos in Florida, the earliest Shabbos is 5:50.
Right.
That hour of 4:50 to 5:50, the Menuchas HaNefesh it gives you on a Friday. I
Right.
don't have to stop working. I mean, you shouldn't be working after Chatzos,
Yeah.
but then running to shop or whatever it is, sitting in traffic, you have that extra hour. Always. In New York. Doesn't start 4:15.
Interesting.
It starts 5:15, the earlier Shabbos. So if you need to take care of something, you don't just rush into Shabbos. I remember when I was younger, I lived in New York. The Shabbos at 4:15, I couldn't deal with it because you didn't even start the day. You're already in Shabbos.
Right.
Here you have that hour to relax.
Yeah.
4 o'clock is the average time where people start relaxing in their day after work.
Right.
I do want to say when you deal with Floridians, try not to call your lawyer after 4. He's out on the beach or at a pool.
And
Don't bother him.
And if you ever go see him, he'll be in shorts.
Of course.
Of course. Also, um, it's um, it's really it's really nice. You're gonna really love it here.
I actually told someone asked me he was looking for a mortgage broker.
Yeah.
So I asked him, are you looking for a Floridian mortgage broker, or I can get you a New York mentality mortgage broker, one of you guys at A-Star. He's like, what's the difference? I'm like, hey, Floridian at 3 o'clock he starts shutting down, 4 o'clock he's at the pool.
Well,
You
we're
have
here
A-Star.
at 7:42.
Yeah,
And we're here.
we're still working, but it's a very different than New York.
Well, we're here. We're having a good time.
7:42
Yeah.
in New York. You're still rushing.
Yeah.
This you gotta. Okay, fine. We'll do a podcast. And we'll sit down.
Yeah.
We'll have a good time.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm having a good time.
I'm having a great time. It's awesome. This is like the highlight of my day.
I'm happy. It's my highlight.
It's good we get to schmooze with you.
Yep.
You know, it's really nice. And like you'll see when you make the move here, you'll come visit. You'll just see the difference in taste. You have the realness.
You told them the secret of not only Grand Beach is a hotel in Miami. There's some other hotels around over here.
Yeah. It's very nice.
But listen, in closing.
Yeah, in closing, try us. Like, we love the questions. We love the curiosity. Like, feel free, anything that's on your mind, just look us up. I'll put our contact information in the description. So you can just reach out, or you can comment, and we welcome your questions, and we want to welcome you here. Yeah.
This is why we live in Florida, because we have that extra time.
Yeah,
If you're
that's
bored in New York or whatever, in Chicago, or hey, what about the Canadians that are moving?
Oh my gosh.
We forgot about them.
No, I didn't forget about them. I have several Canadian friends that have moved and are continuing to move down here.
A lot of them.
You know, from the communist country. And they're experiencing the free state of Florida, and there's amazing banks for that open park specifically for Canadians and foreign nationals, where you can get similar loans than what an American can get as a foreign national. Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna bring one of those next week. So stay tuned on that.
Nice. Listen, anytime you need, give us a call.
Yeah.
I mean, you can give me a call and ask me anything about real estate.
Yeah.
And then give Mendel a call if you need help with your finance of, you told me that you help out people in case if the credit score is not where it needs to be.
The first thing is like reach out to me and we'll look at your credit. So we'll see like what's the most advantageous position for you to be in. Your credit is not necessarily what you see today. We can work on it and get an increase. So while you're looking for a house, A, you know how much you can afford, you know, where your credit standing and what can be done to improve it while you're looking. So it's very important, like we're a team here. And you know, we're here to give you the most advantageous purchase that you can get, and help you come into the market very knowledgeable about the market trends, the market availability, what lending options you have, and basically you're in the driver's seat. You get to choose which, you know, what works best for you. Instead of going to a bank and saying, and they giving you say, this is our guidelines, take it or leave it. We're giving you options of many different banks that you can choose from. But first, we're going to help you to determine what, you know, what financing works for you, what budget would work for you, what you can be qualified for. And then when you go to Hershy, he will be able to find you the perfect place that matches that criteria.
We'll try.
Yeah, we'll try it. We won't stop till it's done.
Well, we get it done.
Right. All right, good night, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining me.